With school districts extending their spring breaks, some even shutting down, many child care facilities are still open.
Yeah, KXAN's Maggie Glynn explains what guidelines are in place for these daycares and the decision that goes into closing them.
We're checking temperatures on all the children.
New procedures are in place, including screening anyone who walks through the door after the state released guidelines for child care facilities.
We are getting guidelines coming down, but they're vague.
You'll notice we did the interview outside of the facility. That's because that's part of the new guidelines, limiting who is able to enter. Staff, parents, children, and law enforcement are allowed, but the number of people is not mentioned at all, leaving some confusion with President Trump's recommendation of limiting gatherings to 10.
We do have more than 10 people in our building during the day when we're operating. So we're trying to think about, is that only 10 people in a classroom? Is that including the children and the teacher?
The guidelines don't mention anything about shutting down, leaving child care facilities to decide on their own.
We are going to go ahead and temporarily close. We're going to follow the AISD school district policy.
While many simply align with local school districts, others, like the YMCA's extended care program, actually use those schools.
When the schools close down, we can't go in.
And that brings up another concern. The YMCA in Austin employs 450 in its child care programs.
When you have that many employees that you're paying with no revenue coming in, you have no choice. So when do those stop and when can we quit making the cuts? That's still undetermined.
Maggie Glynn, KXAN News.
While the Austin YMCA is closed, the organization is working on a plan to operate child care facilities for emergency personnel, doctors, nurses, and those working on the front line to fight COVID-19. The plan is currently being reviewed by the city.